Why hello again. Another video. Might as well do one while we're still in lockdown. Not as if I go far in the end. But what it is some more programming, but also on impulse, as I usually do, I bought two more Locos. And what I've actually bought is the City of Edinburgh, and which is a Hornby one, and the Dapple Class 52. On that one I've actually put TTS sound into it now. Bit of a struggle to put the speaker in at the bottom, but it's in now and it works. And then this one's got 4 functions in it. I can do main lights, cab light. But also there's 2 more functions which you can actually turn the rear off, whichever the case may be, as you're running the train. But I'll just leave this on the main one, so the main lights are on. And say I've got it comes fully kitted at the bottom there. You can actually just see some of the stuff in it. But also what I bought are these, some lamps. They've actually got a jewel in the front of them, so when they're coming round in a certain light, especially in this room, they glisten as if they're actually live lamps. And what those are these. In actual fact, if you look at this one here, I won't take it out of the packet, but I'll just take this one out of the room. You can actually see the little jewel. That's a little red one, that's a rear one. These have got the jewels in the front, these are front ones as well. But on the Dapple one, you get head codes. I presume these are water transfers, so because otherwise you won't be able to see through them, to put onto your front headlight. And then what you get is this kit of bits and pieces. There's a lot of stuff to go onto the top of it, on the top roof, and you also get these etching number nameplates. This is the Western prints, so that comes in very well. Now, one of the things I've had a problem with is I've got some track problems. Some of it's lifted by the looks of it. Now what I have is this one here will go round here perfect. If I put it round onto the outside track, it's alright until it gets to that corner there and the bogie lifts. So that piece of track has got to be checked out there. But also, like on this one, what will actually happen is if I bring that round to here, it just comes off here. And I found out I've actually got a little level thing here. You actually look at that. Look at that, how it's out. It's got to, that's how much it's going to be lifted. So I've got to take all the stuff out, all the ballast from underneath that, and redo it. But also I noticed just there's a slight dip in the rail. And what's been happening is some of the wagons or coaches sometimes will hit that just as the other one, and they actually lift off, so they uncouple themselves on the road. So that's something I've got to do. But what I should do first is put all my lights on. That's it, all my street lights and everything else on. Makes it better. Now, one thing is that I'm going to also be doing this. I've had a problem for a long while with this. Some trains will go across here, some won't. That side I have no trouble with, but here has always been a bit of a nightmare at times. So I've been in contact with Steve at the Hobbycobbling. Although he's not open, I have contact with him any road. Anyhow, it is officially opening next Tuesday, and I've actually spoke to him this morning, and what I've ordered is some more points here, but in Pico. I think they're a lot better, Picos are, but also these VZ, and actually if you watch this one coming round, when it gets to here, it has a little bit of a bounce here where it's hitting this stuff round here. So all that's got to be replaced, and I've got to do the track round there and all this part round here. The inside track is perfect. I have no trouble with the inside track. It's just the outside track. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing. So what I'll do first, I will show you the dapple, and what I've done with there is if I put the lights on, back and front, and cab lights, well done, when it goes on, there you are, there's the lights on it, and there's a rear cab on. I can actually just, they're quite bright, these lights are in the cabs, but it's got a lovely detail inside the cab, brilliant inside. But then say this one will actually run on this track, but of course I've got this one at the moment, so until I do all this lot, some of it, you know, I won't do. Now also, as I said, some trains will run, some won't. Now this one will run on the outside track, that one won't. And I have this problem with one or two trains. Some will go on and some won't, so it's a little bit of work to do on the system. Now, one thing that I did show you on the last one is, turn that off, right, go off, is I showed you a little test program which I did, which is running that one from 0 to acceleration of 50. It goes in steps and builds its way around, and I did also the GWR one, which is sitting there at that time, and did that one. But what you can actually do, you can do it with as many trains as you want. So as it happened, I've only got 2 tracks, but if you've got 4 tracks, you can actually run 4 trains off at the same time and then control them through the ordinary as part of Railmaster, than having to program them. But this is just a way of just starting the trains off, and then you can run them as they are. So what I've done with that, I'll show you how I do that. And I'll come back on here. I go into here now. Wrong one, what this one? That's the one I want. Go down here. There it is. What we've got there now is at 0, the Lord Nelson will start off and go from 4 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour, and the City of Edinburgh will go from 15 miles an hour to 80. These vary on the type of trains you've got. Some trains won't even start till you're getting 7 miles an hour, so you've got to work each one out first on just one little test program, and then incorporate them this way around. And then when it hits that one it's 50 and that one it's 80, what they'll do now, they'll carry on doing those speeds until you control them off this. So that's what I've done with them. So what I'm going to do now is I've just come out of this, so I just make sure I haven't messed with it. Now what I've done, as you know, this is Pro, and I've actually put a little train there which does that program. Otherwise, as I've said before, this is why I love Pro. If I go into here, look at all this lot, I'd have to hunt through there to find my program. Those are all programs. So what I've done there is just put a train there. So first of all, I'm going to just fire it up. What I'll do with this one first, I'll just show you this sitting anywhere. Some of the stuff it's got in it. One whistle. Set the coal. Cylinder cork. And say the thing is if you haven't got what I got here, I can quite easily do it for you, because normally you only get those 8 there. So all I've got to do now is go in the middle there and push these up here, and I can do this one. So I can do all them, and that's what that one's got in it. Now the thing is, what I've found with this particular one is if you go to put the train in the list, you code it by the number on the box and it comes up on the screen, which is quite good. So the same thing is it comes up as a standard one, not as a TTS, so I've had to manually put all those sounds in. Now another one which is sitting there, which is the City of Birmingham, if you click that you get it with all the functions in it. But if you go into the loco list in the back of the Railmaster, those two trains, if you go by the code numbers, those two trains don't exist. But if you code them in by the numbers, they do exist. So what the hell's happening with that, I do not know. So what I intended to do was to click it in as a City of Birmingham and then change the picture around. But I couldn't because it doesn't exist on the system for some reason. So that's a little problem I got, but I did cure it anyway. So what I'll do now is we'll just do this. There's the two of them. Now what I can do now is I can actually give it a whistle and give this a whistle. And what I do now is do this, click it. Now just watch this Edinburgh when it hits this bit here, it bumps. Now look. Which I'm saying here, they're building up their speeds to what I've set them at. This one's a bit slow on the marks, but it'll kick in now just as it gets around here. Each train is totally different, so you've got to alter them to what you want. So now they're both going round, no problems at all. You see. Now the thing is now they're under my control here. So what I can actually do now is to click them down to shunts. What I'll do now, I'll just stop them over there, just out of the way, and I'll turn the sounds off. But that's how you can do it. Now, I have been working on different layouts since the last video. I get regular calls on different things, and one of them was as regards this. Now, just turn that off a minute. One thing is, I've got this in demo, but if I do this, I get all my trains up. Now, some people have only got the one list, and to get the two up, what you've actually got is if you go to your settings box there, it comes up, and just there's one there which is loco control. There's two. I did have one where when it come up, this was a blank track. I thought, where's his track? And what it was, it actually clicked that to 0. But you can actually click that now to 1 like that, and click, and all you get is the 1 like that. Or as I do, I put it in 2. Makes no difference. But it's actually slatting it down outside after all the nice weather we had. Now look, actually pouring down outside. So what I'm going to do now is put that back to 2. No, it's back to 2. Now then, I can do track plans. What I mean by that is if, like mine, with all the signalling and everything else, I can put all the signalling in, put the points in, check the system out completely. I've just had one gentleman who, I'll actually show you the track plan. I'll just have to come into here a minute. Where are we? There it is. Come on, let's go down. Where are we? There it is. Now this one was fun. Now that's how it came out, basically a blank screen. We'll actually take this now down to 50 so you can actually see the track. That is the layout. And what had actually happened is, as you know, when you're doing a track plan, down the side here there are numbers, and across the top there are numbers. But it moved this actually about 2 screens down, so I had to scroll this up twice, basically twice, to get to this particular thing. So what I actually did, he sent me the track plan, which is this one, to a degree, and what I do is I then alter it. I had to move the whole lot. It took me about 4 hours to do it, but I did all that, shifted it all over, and in the meantime doing all this, I found out there was a problem here. This set of points here were hidden by these buttons here, so I had to, once I'd done all the part of it, then I had to move all this lot again down below to accommodate that set of point buttons there. Then I also noticed that this one here and this one here were individually fired, which makes it a problem, because what happens is this train can come in here, and then when it gets here, it's, unless you change that, so by rights you should change that one and that one together, as you do with a crossover. So this is the track plan I did. Also this was a bit too high, so I twisted that one down, and that's the result with 2 turntables in as well. But that's one thing that I can do for you. And say I can put you the points in the signals. Now, more so than the signals is, if you've got, like mine, which is a Pro, I can operate so that when you fire, like here, this set of points, a particular signal will go red and one will go green. I can fit all them in. It's quite easily. It doesn't take me too long. I've been doing this for 8 years now, so I know every inch of this machine. Sometimes things do go a bit wrong, but any difficulties with the Railmaster, such as like this is coming back in now, just put it back to 75. So you see, one thing you've got with Pro is that this is now sitting at 75. On a normal system, if you put it down to 75, when you turn Railmaster off, turn it back on again, it'll come back at 100. This in Pro will come back to what you set it at. So that's one good thing with it. Also, with Pro you can put these little programs in, like these are all programs all down here. I can do all these. Now, the thing is with the Pro, it's so easy to use. You've got, if I go up here a bit, you can actually see it up here a bit. There, look. See, you can do 45-degree angle points, which you can't do with the standard one. You also got the voice, which is what I use on all my Locos. It's easy to accommodate my trains. But one thing is that I tell everybody, right, this one runs off an Elite, but downstairs I've got another Railmaster where I do all my testing, when I set my trains up and everything else. That's an E-Link. But the same situation goes with that one as here, more so with this. More so with E-Links as well. I have a routine. First of all, is when I'm turning this off, I turn Railmaster off, I then turn the computer off, and then I turn the Elite off. And it's the same if it's an E-Link, more so with E-Links. So it's Railmaster off, computer off, E-Link off. Now when you turn it back on, you turn your computer on. Now I noticed that this one, more so if you've got Windows 10, if not on your computer every day, what will happen is Windows 10 will upgrade, so you can mess your Railmaster up while you're firing it up. So beware of that. So what I normally do is turn it on, leave it for 5 minutes, and then come back to it. And then what I do is then turn the Elite on, or the E-Link on, then I fire Railmaster up, and it fires every time. I do not get failures. Also, first thing when it's firing up, first thing you watch for is that little green tape, because that means it's connected to your controller. But anyhow, so I've rabbited on a bit too much now, I think. So if you want to contact me, you can contact me on 01782 302194. My email address is there at the bottom of each one of these videos. Please subscribe and don't be afraid to ask me anything. Some things I might be able to help you with, some are not, but I'll try my best and I'll find out things for you if need be. So don't be afraid to call me. If you're trying to set Railmaster up or want to know how to set Railmaster up, just give me a call. I'm always here, 7 days a week. I never go away. So until then, keep safe and I will see you again soon. Bye.